Hello, welcome to our unique learning system math lesson. My name is Charlotte Lucas. I am an autism low incidence mentor teacher with Richmond Public Schools, and I am delighted to be able to work with you today. Our math lesson today is adding three-digit numbers with regrouping. Our focus for today is to recognize the operation symbol. We're going to discuss the focus of our lesson. Then we will use models to solve word problems, and we'll use a calculator to check our work. We have a lot to do, so let's get to work. The math problem that we're going to be solving for today is a word problem. And once we read the problem, we translate that into what the action should be, what is happening in order to make the math sentence. When we're doing any type of math problem, we need to know what the symbol is and what it represents. So I'm going to do a little bit of vocabulary with you, because when we're working with, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so you can see everything. When we're working with math, there are 4 different operations that we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with addition. The symbol would be this cross here. Subtraction, this is the symbol for subtraction. Multiplication, this is the symbol for multiplication. And then division, that is the symbol for division. So when you're doing a word problem or any type of math problem, you need to know what operation you're using. And if you're translating a math word problem, you have to use the correct operation symbol to get the problem correct. Some of the other words that I'm going to be using in our chart for our math today, I'm going to be using the word digit. Digit are just numbers. They're just numbers. So I have the digits that I'll be using, and then each digit has to go into a place. When you're writing numbers, they each have a place, and each place has a value. There's a ones place all the way to the right. The smallest number will be in the ones. The smallest value will be in the ones place. Next will be the tens place. And next will be the hundreds place. We're using 3-digit numbers today. So when we are working, we have to always make sure we know what place our numbers are in. And the reason that that's important is because numbers have a value in every place. So this is 100. Well, our values are going up to 100, so we're going to use a hundreds chart, and we're going to show you this is how many. This is the value of 100. These are 100 little squares all put together on a chart. 100 little squares. That's the value, 100. All right. The next value that you're looking at, this is still a hundreds chart, but this is 10. This is the value. This is 10 in the tens place. And then the value of ones is just 1. That's the value of the 1. It's kind of a visual representation of what's going on. Ones place, tens place, hundreds place. But the idea is how many does that represent in each place? So each digit is represented in a place. So how many hundreds do you have in the hundreds place? How many? How many in the tens place? How many in the ones place? So I'm going to have how many hundreds. In this illustration, there are 1, 2, 3 hundreds. So in that place, there are 3. The value is 300. In the tens place for this demonstration, there are 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 tens. So the value of this 4 in the tens place is 40. And in the ones place would be a 3. It would be 1, 2, 3. 3 in the ones place is just 3. So you have your digits, but where the digits are tells you the value. So when you look at a number, how many is in that hundreds place? How many are in the tens place? How many are in the ones place? So if we look back at our problem, we need to read this number and find out the operation to make sure that we will be solving the problem correctly. All right. So the other thing that we're going to be doing, another vocabulary word, is we're going to be regrouping. That means that, for instance, in the ones place, we can only have one digit. So if this number is, for instance, 12, we cannot put the whole number 12 in that place. I'll show you that later. So in each place, there can only be one digit. But when there's two digits, we have to move or regroup that number to the next highest value. And that's what we'll be doing today. So let's read our problem and make sure that our problem is set up correctly. And then we'll go to solve the problem. The problem reads, Randy and Ryan are planting seeds in the school flower garden. This is a little seed. Randy plants 122. Look at that number, 122. How will you say that? 122. How will you say that? Oh, no. Someone said 122. No. We do not use the word and when we're telling the value of a number unless there's a decimal. We learned that earlier. This number would be read 122, not 122. If there were a decimal there, we could say and, but there's no decimal. This number would read what? Excellent, 116. Very good. We did not use the word and. So Randy plants 122 seeds. 122 seeds. Ryan plants 116 seeds. How many seeds do they plant altogether? So in this problem, when we read this problem, the word that is important that helps us to know what the operation will be is the word altogether. If you see the word altogether, that means you're going to add. Very good. You're going to add. That means that the value, the answer will be larger than the two numbers because you have added, and therefore the answer should be larger than the two numbers that you have. All right, so we have our numbers, we have them in order. Let's see if we can solve these problems. And I've set up a different chart because I want to be able to discuss this with you as we go along. So I'm going to use this chart because I have my hundreds, tens, and ones all set up. I have my operations all set up, adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And then I have our digits all set up. So the first number that we have is 122. So in the hundreds place, I'm going to put 1, 100. How many tens? 2. How many ones? 2. 122. Now we're going to add to that. So now we need a symbol to represent what is our operation. Our operation is addition. Let me see if I could get an addition sign on here. Adding, very good. We're going to be adding to that number 116. 100, 110, and 6 ones. Those are the numbers that we're going to add. We're going to add these numbers together and we're going to get our answer to the problem. Let's see if we get it. I'm going to use, for my adding strategy today, I'm going to be using counting on. In addition, that's really easy. You put the largest number in your head and then you use your fingers to add on it. And look, I don't have a problem using my fingers. Old school, we use our fingers, we get the right answer. I don't have a problem with that. So if we want to add, when you're adding, when you're subtracting, you always start in the ones place. Do not add starting in the hundreds place. You may get it wrong, especially if you have to regroup. So we're going to start in the ones place. We always do. And I'm going to put that 6 in my head and I'm going to add 2, 6, 7, 8. So the answer here should be 8. All right. This number, 2 plus 1, we're adding. The operation is addition. 2 plus 1, we know that. We already know that. Those are number facts. We already know that. And then 1 plus 1, we already know that. 238. 238? No. 238. Now, I told you we were going to use a calculator. Now, we use our calculator, but we do not use the calculator to find the answer when we're trying to solve problems. Make sure that you're processing correctly by knowing how to do this operation yourself. And then if you want to check the answer, we use a calculator. So that's why I'm using our calculator. And the first thing, oh, look at that number up there. I've got to get rid of that number. So on my calculator, I can hit the clear button. That will bring us to 0. And I always hit that again. I don't know why. It's a habit. And that makes sure that everything is cleared out, and I'm okay with that. All right, so 122 on our calculator. We're going to hit 122. All right, we look and make sure that it's the correct number on the screen up here. And now we're going to add. So I'll go to my addition button, and I'm going to, the order is, the operation is addition. So I'm going to hit my addition button, plus, and now we're going to add 116. 116. I have my two numbers in place, and how do I get my answer? I hit the equal sign. If I hit the equal sign, it's going to tell me the solution to the problem. The value of those two numbers together will equal 238. We got it right. Good job. Okay. Let's see if we can do another problem. And I'm going to take these numbers out. That way, when we come back, we will be able to put our new numbers in and get our new solution. The hardest part is getting the numbers out. So thank you for your patience. All right, let's go and see what is our next problem. All right, this time, Danielle, let's read. It's a word problem. Let's read it and make sure that this is set up correctly. Danielle is handing out items to students in the school flower garden. She hands out 109 flowers and 56 shovels. How many items does Danielle hand out altogether? So we have to decide what is the operation. What operation is this going to be? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. The word is altogether when we look at our problem, altogether. So that means we're going to do what? Add. Very good. So we're going to add, this is the correct operation, 109, adding to that 56. 100, not 109, just 109 plus 56. So let's use my chart again because we're adding in my chart today. And let's see, the first number is 109. How many in the hundreds place? 1. How many tens do we have if it's 109? We have 0. We have no. We have none. We have 0 tens, no tens. And how many ones do we have? 9. All right. Ooh, you know what I've done? I've put this in the wrong place. I need to put it in the correct place for my chart. 100, 0 tens, and 9 ones. That looks better, doesn't it? Good. What is our next number? 56. The second number is a 2-digit number, and that's why it's so important to always make sure you line up things correctly. Because if I were to put 56, that would mean that I have 5 hundreds and 6 tens. But the number 56 is 5 tens and 6 ones. That's how come lining your numbers up is very important, because the value has to be in the right place. So 56 would be 5 tens and 6 ones. Excellent. Always line your numbers up right. That's why I use this chart paper. It helps me to keep things in line, and I know that I'll have it correctly. I can transfer it later, but I start with my chart paper. So this time the operation is addition. Very good. So let's add. 9, oh, remember, we always start our addition and subtraction problems in the ones place. 9 plus 6. 9 plus 6. So I'm counting on, so I'm going to put the 9 in my head. I'm going to add 6 to that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. Let's see. 15. Are you going to let me get away with that? I can't do that, can I? I cannot put 2 digits in this ones place. There can only be 1 digit in each place. If we look at the number 15, we see that there's 1 10 and 5 ones. So let's take that 1 10 and carry it, regroup it into the tens place. There was 1 10. So now we have 1 10, and we're going to move that 10 to the tens place, and we will add it in with all of the other tens. 15. 9 plus 6 is 15. We put our 5 in the ones place. We put our 1 in the tens place. Excellent. All right, now we're ready to add the tens place. In the tens place, we have a 1, 0, and a 5. So that 0 is it has no tens in this place. So 5 plus 1, we can do that. 5 plus 1 is 6. We're adding on. So our value here will be 6. And now let's go to the hundreds place. In the hundreds place, we have 1 here, and we don't have anything here. Do we have to have anything there? No. Should we put a 0 there because we know that there's nothing there? No. If there's nothing in that place, once you've written your number, do not add anything. But we know that the value here is 0. There's nothing. So if I add 1 plus nothing, my answer will be 1. All right, let's check to see if we got that correct. We'll use our calculator. All right, we have some numbers in our calculator. What must we do? You're right. Hit the clear button. We tap it, and the number clears. Of course, I always hit that CE. I always hit that also, just to make sure everything is cleared out. And let's see what we're adding. 109. 1, the digit 1, the digit 0, the digit 9. 109. Plus, I need to go to my plus and add that in, plus 56. 5, 50, digit 6. The only way I can get an answer is to hit the equal sign. The equal will give me the answer. I hit the equal sign, 165. We got the right answer. Very good. Oh my. You're doing a great job. I wish I could hit a C on this and get clear so that I could move on. But first, let's get rid of all of these digits so that we can do our next addition problem. I could have put 3 more sections on here, but I thought we would keep it simple and work like that. So now we've cleared out our chart. Let's go to our next problem. All right, our next problem is the word problem. Mrs. B's class is planting items in the school flower garden. They plant 137 seeds and 90 flowers. How many items do they plant all together? Okay, 137 seeds, not 137, no. 137 seeds and 90 flowers. Let's see, we use the word all together, so we know that our operation for today is going to be addition. Excellent. And this is our addition symbol. You always, when you're writing a problem, you always have to put your operation. Always, even though you line it up and you draw your line under, you must put that operation there. Otherwise, nobody knows what's going on. So very important. We put our operation 137 plus 90. Let's see if we can put that on our chart paper and add that. 137. So let's go to the hundreds place. How many hundreds? There's 1. How many tens? 3. How many ones? 7. All right. Then we're going to add to that using our operation of addition, 90. Now, if we're going to write 90, would we put 9 in the hundreds place? No, because that means there's 900. We can't do that. So let's put that 9 in the correct spot, which is in the tens place. We know that there are 9 tens. Can we leave it like that? No, we have to represent how many ones we have, even though in this case there are 0. When we're writing this number, everything on the left has to have a value. But if we're going to the right, and if for this number, if we don't have any hundreds, we don't have to put a 0. I know that's a little confusing, but this makes life easier. All right, so we put our number in 90, and now we need to add it. Again, we always start in the ones place when we're adding, and we're adding 7 plus 0. That's 7, and don't add anything to it. So the answer will be 7. Very nice. All right, let's go to the tens place. How many tens do we have now? Okay, 9 plus 3. I'm going to start with the largest number. In addition, we can do that. I'll put the 9 in my head, 9, and I'm going to add 3. 9, 10, 11, 12. Please don't tease me because I'm using my fingers. I'm old school. It's okay. I get the right answer every time. 9 plus 3, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Okay, we can write our answer in. You're not going to let me get away with that, are you? Here we have the number 12. Now, in the tens place, that means we have 12 tens. We have 12 tens. If you skip count by 10, you're going to find that 12 equals 120. It's not 12, 1, 10, 2 ones. It's 12 in the tens place is 120. If you skip count by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So 12 is really 120. So this 1 is not a 10. This 1 is actually 100. Let's add it to the hundreds place. And by adding it to the hundreds place, we now have the correct value. We, excuse me, we regrouped. We couldn't have 12 down here. In the tens place, 12 is 120. So we had to put the 100 in the hundreds place and leave the 2 tens here. We can only have one digit in that value. All right, now we're going to add our hundreds. We get 1, 2. That's easy. Counting on. 227 is our answer. Let's use our calculator to see if we got the right answer. And we look at our calculator, there's a number in there. Whenever you start using your calculator, always clear it out. Hit the clear symbol C. I always hit that extra symbol and make sure there's nothing else in that calculator anywhere that could possibly give me a wrong number. All right, so now let's add our numbers together. 137 plus 90. The digits are 1, the digit 3, and the digit 7. And the calculator lines it up just right. 137. We're going to add 90, which means we're going to hit the plus button. We hit the plus button, and as you see on the calculator, when we hit the plus button, it moved the number up here, and this gives us a record of what we've done. 100 plus 90. 9. You literally just click in what you see. 9, the digit 9, and the digit 0. 0 is a digit. Yeah. All right, so now we have 90. 137 plus 90, and to get the answer, we have to click on the equal sign. That will give us the answer. But also, let's see what happens up here on the calculator. It gives us, make sure we have it correct. Click it, and the answer will be 227. 137 plus 90, 227. We got it right. Well, guys and girls, we did a wonderful job today. Let's just do a quick review if I can get everything back on the screen. First of all, we were working, now I have lots of stuff let's see if I can do this correctly. All right, so we were working with place value. We have hundreds, tens, and ones. The value of the digits, what's very important is that you put your digits in the correct spot. So if these digits, if I needed to make the number 343, I would have to represent 3 100s, 4 10s, and 3 ones in the correct place. The digits have to go into a place, and that place tells the value. So if we look at our place on our number chart, on our chart paper, we see that we have ones always at the end, tens and hundreds, and we have to place our numbers in the correct spot. So in this number in this spot is 7 ones, 3 tens, and 1 100. There are 9 tens and 0 ones. And when we add those, our operation here is addition. Okay, let's see if I can have my chart that tells us what our operation symbols. Our symbols are addition, division, subtraction, and multiplication. And our operation for today was addition, and our value or our answer when you hit the equal sign, our value was 227. 7 ones, 2 tens, and 2 100s. Good job, guys and girls. We learned that we do not use the word and when we are reading our numbers. 227, not 227. Only use and when you're doing decimals. Excellent. You've done a great job today. I hope I get to see you next time when we'll be doing subtraction. Thank you. Bye-bye now.